Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam, or Xstraws, and today I'm bringing you guys another Game Battles match. This is an MLG variant Game Battles match, but there's two differences with this one versus the last one that I showed you. Number one, this is a team ladder game, which was requested by a lot of people, and number two, this actually isn't my gameplay. So, Vibez, why don't you introduce yourself?
Alright, so I go by Vibez Envy. I'm on Team EnVyUs, a very well-known team in the Call of Duty community. So, yeah.
And we also got Toxo with us today as well.
I am back.
So, Vibez, this is some Team Ladder gameplay, obviously, from you playing with Team EnVyUs. And before we get into the game, one thing that I want to clarify in this game is not only are you playing with a good team, Team EnVyUs, you also are playing against some pretty well-known players, at least in the competitive gaming community. So why don't you talk a little bit about this game specifically?
Alright, so yeah, this is an MLG variant gameplay, and it's on Domination on Villa. And my team is myself, Doubt, Stainville, and Pogo, and we're playing against Dopester, Ghoulie, Lack of Regret, and Corrupt. So these guys aren't just like a bunch of pub stars that we found on GB and played them. They've been playing since COD 4, pretty sure, and they've played up until now. And they go by Strictly Business. I'm pretty sure that's what their team name is now. But yeah.
Alright, and why don't you talk a little bit about MLG variant Domination, because it's a lot different from the Domination that people are probably used to from public matches.
Yeah, so public games, you just play one side 10 minutes or however it is. But for the MLG rules on game battles, you play two sides of 8 minutes. And so you add up the differences on each side. So one side you spawn at C, and then after that game's over, you start it up again, and then you spawn in at the A flag, and then whoever wins by the most wins the game pretty much. And then so like one team can win by 100 on one side, and then the next team could win by 150, and then the team that won by 150 wins, obviously.
All right, so what I want to talk about a little bit today is the top teams. The thing that makes one team better than another is often things like who has the better shot. Obviously, very simple things like that. But some things that don't make somebody necessarily a great player in public matches make people amazing players in game battles. And one of those things is communication. So why don't you talk Toxo and Vibez a little bit about communication and sort of chemistry on professional teams.
All right, Toxo, you want to go?
You can go.
Alright, so Team EnVyUs has always been well known for their communication. That's just been their thing since COD 4, ever since I remembered. But in public games, you don't see like one person calling out, oh, they're on C or they're on A or something like that. But that's pretty much what makes or breaks a game. Like there's not one pro team that doesn't call out at all. I mean, it's how it is. It's like shooting your gun, you're calling out.
Yeah, it's a huge part of the gameplay, and a lot of people think that, it might be easy to just say, hey, there's a guy at C, or hey, there's a guy at B, and while that kind of stuff is easy, you have to learn a lot of the call-outs and making them in time and making sure that your teammates are prepared for any given engagement and being prepared for throwing grenades and all that sort of stuff is so important in competitive gaming that you just can't be a good team without that, and that sort of leads into, a lot of team chemistry, and that's why when you just start a team with somebody or, you are trying to get some friends together, you guys might be great players with great shots in public matches, but you won't survive because you're playing against people who are organized, know what they're doing, and also have great shots, because you're not going to get it. I mean, everybody's got a decent shot who's in game battles, and it's the smaller things that are going to make you stand out as a good team or a good individual on competitive gaming. So Team EnVyUs, you guys are playing with your main four right here, and you all have pro circuit ladder experience. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the way the Pro Circuit Ladder works is there's 3 PCLs total throughout the year. So it pretty much every PCL. So I'll start off with the first one. It's the same thing all the way through, but there's playoffs and ladder play. And ladder play is basically for seeding to get into playoffs. So I don't know how it's going to work for Black Ops, but it's probably going to be the top 32 or 24 teams. And from ladder play go into playoffs. And then from there, they seed off against each other and play. And then at the end, you get pro points. And the way that works is after all the pro points are added up, after PCL 1, 2, and 3, then that goes for online nationals or actual nationals like it was for PS3 and Xbox for MW2. But it's going to be different for Black Ops, hopefully. We're actually going to have like live events like how Halo has it. But yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people have this kind of misconception that just kind of playing on game battles or playing in PCL makes you quote-unquote a professional player. And although you can be a professional player just by making money off the game, in order to be an MLG recognized semi-professional or professional, there's a lot that goes into it, and you have to do well in these Pro Circuit Ladder or Pro Circuit Online events. I don't even know what they call them anymore, but it's kind of important as you are teabagging this guy and shooting his face in the game. Toxo, wanted to ask you a question. From your experience, Semtex or Frag?
It depends on the map and it depends on the game type.
You have a preference?
I prefer Semtex, but that's just because Modern Warfare 2 is the only thing I could use is Semtex. So I got used to it over time. But I think I'm gonna go back to Frag because of COD 4.
Vibes?
Frags for sure, definitely.
All right, and why don't you explain your reasoning behind why you want to use frags?
All right, so I think frags are a lot more useful than Semtex because you can like lob them over buildings, you can cook them. I mean, Semtex, not only do they hear you like cooking it, like it's a lot louder than a frag, but if you see right here, that'll probably hit a nade right there. And then I got two of them. And nice. Semtex don't do enough damage. I don't think it does like nothing.
Yeah,
and
you can't launch a Semtex over that building the same way you can with a frag. Maybe that building you might, but I don't know. Most buildings, a lot of times these spawn nades, you got to be able to use that frag. And the only downside to using a frag is going to be the longer time on it, but that can also be an upside, like you just saw when throwing it over a building like that. And that's sort of one thing. What about secondaries? What secondaries is pretty much dominant in competitive play?
Makarov.
Python. Don't listen to Toxo.
Makarov.
All right. Why don't you explain why you think the Makarov is better, Toxo?
Because I think it takes like a 3-shot kill, like hit on. All three bullets hit. All three you'll kill the guy. And when you put extended mags on it, it's just complete rape.
Mm-hmm. So before this game ends, because we only got about a minute left, why don't you briefly explain what had happened before this game started?
Oh yeah, so on the first side of this map, Saintville lagged out like less than halfway through. So we were just trying to hold down one flag so the difference wouldn't be that great for us to come back on. But I'm pretty sure, if you look at the scores, I think we win by around 100, and they beat us by only like 50. And that was basically, they were playing 4v3 the entire time, and they still couldn't beat us by more than that. Yeah, that's why you see me teabagging, because I thought they lagged them out, and I was just so mad.
Yeah, so right here you actually beat another team with Pro Circuit Ladder experience, a good team that's been together for since Call of Duty 4 days, and you've beat them by over 100 points on one side. That is amazing, or maybe not over 100. You're like approaching 100 right now. That's insane. This was an awesome gameplay here by Vibez. If you want to check out his YouTube, link in the description. You want to check out his game battles, link in the description. Same for his Twitter. And Toxo, he also will have his game battles profile in the description of this video and his Twitter. And do you have a YouTube as well?
Yeah, but it's complete random, and I don't have a cap card, so it doesn't even matter.
All right. So anyway, guys, check out the links in the description of this video. Vibez is an awesome player. His final score was 22-6 in this gameplay. They absolutely dominated Strictly Business, and that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.